Tanya D here, and I'm so elated, beyond excited to announce that for the very first time, I'm offering my energy healing courses, which you can download from an app right to your phone, which is in itself amazing. Have me right on your phone from an app? Hello? 50% off of my courses, meditations, energy medicine, voices of the other world, uncover secrets of the other world, the energy body demystified, and so much more. Check out the venue because you have so many options, and you know I'm all about options. During my 22 days of gratitude offerings, so from the beginning of the season of Sagittarius, which starts on the 22nd of November until the 13th of December, you will see different opportunities on sale as a thank you for being part of this otherworldly amazing village. Subscribe so you can get announcements in your inbox of the gratitude offering for that day in the venue, and be sure to check back each day as these opportunities that are on sale are going to be changing each day. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Inshallah and ashe. Every day is a new day, but either way, welcome to a talented Tuesday, and to all my replay and live stream viewers. Either way, I'm grateful to have you here, to be of assistance. So while we're waiting for people to hop on to the show, the live stream, or even just tune into the replay, what's on the agenda today? There is so much happening, right? It is a talented Tuesday, and welcome to the beginning of 22 days of gratitude, along with the first day of the season of Sagittarius, the benevolent, the Jupiter, the soul's harmonic, the voice of God, if your sun is in the 9th house, the joy planets, if you will. So, which is an entire different story. But being the first day of the season, this really is about growing our joy molecules. Jupiter brings growth, adventure, higher understanding, world travel to the globe, along with philosophy, which is also curious if you were to muse about it, just the word philosophy. And in the season of Jupiter, we begin to elevate what we believe. It's the starry, starry night. It always reminds me of my friend Christopher Renstrom back in the day. But what do you believe? What do you believe is possible within yourself, in your day-to-day environment, in your world, and out into the galactic future? So it's like being at the threshold. You may find yourself doing a little balancing of your cosmic checkbook, if you will. Finishing up things, tightening up any loose ends from the season of Scorpio. And literally, did you feel the energy shift? Maybe you're revisiting your ability to be open, or your willingness to have an open mind, opening up to new ideas within the realm of belief. So do we need to put up the walls? Do we need to tear them down? Especially when it comes to the outer rims about what we believe about ourselves, in order to kind of upcycle our system in what we believe to be true inside of ourselves. Usually it's those self-limiting beliefs, those knots that are created by the instigator, or thoughtless paradigms or paradoxes. And the moon's still in the season of Scorpio. And as a reflector in human design, being that my moon is in season Scorpio, the end degrees, I'm kind of filling into those fields, but keeping the threads of emotions together, weaving a new thread for the fabric along with managing a sacred sphere, a sacred garden, permeating. It's better to be permeable in those energetic boundaries as to not close yourself off emotionally from a new opportunity to actually open a new door and believe differently. What does that even mean? This is the one that we guard ourselves from, like we're guarding ourselves from ourselves, actually. Sometimes we are our worst nightmare, our enemy. Like we often get in the way of our own greatness, and the mind is a tool. It totally needs a job. However, streaming widely, I'm not sure I'm loving the camera, but either way, here we are. Welcome to the Daily Snippet once again. I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. I do go by the term holistic shaman medium, which is actually a merging of it all. And my intention is to utilize the indigenous technologies along with the elemental realms into the imaginal and our original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic through these realms, whether it's the elemental, the imaginal, into and through the shaman's portal. That's kind of my gateway. And the 8th energetic center, that's usually what people tune into. I just have a different name for it. The cosmos, the subtle realms, and really so much more, with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals. Rituals are food for the soul, the otherworldly kind, I should add. To the sauce, the key ingredients of your personal medicine, your container, within your own magic there. Your personal medicine, also called your prime directive or your life purpose, really just assisting you in discovering or navigating that inner genius of your own personal medicine, the star that I believe we all uniquely are, possibly reintroducing you to that essence, that magic that resides within each and every one of us, so that our light shines even brighter. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. I'm still nipping and tucking this as well. But if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. The new white button, YouTube or otherwise. I'm laughing at the white buttons, by the way. Tanya D on YouTube, my Musing with Tanya D podcast, the Otherworldly Insights season. And now for your musing pleasure, the season of Sagittarius, the angelic being Raguel, the friend of God, is in the house. Along with our soul's harmonic is online for the season of beliefs and higher philosophy. And we do go from the depths of Hades out to the stars, the starry, starry night. But also let's give a big shout out to the community, the village. Thank you. You're assisting me in growing. New subscribers as well as those of you that have been in my journey since the beginning. What a ride. What a roller coaster. Grateful for that. Always being grateful, right? Attitude of gratitude is the attitude of receiving, right? And also for those of you that do tune into the replay, and again, if you don't mind hitting the bell button, so you're notified along with that white button, which is interesting. I was checking it out yesterday. And remember, a comment or a share does get you a message for your day to get you on your way. And you can also, of course, find me on other social channels like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I do multi-stream there. However, if you have tuned into 22 days of gratitude each day, I'm doing a different offer. I'm going to open up a gift, I guess. So grab the gift, keeping it fun, the adventure. It's going to be an opening in your inbox, a different announcement each day. Be sure to sign up and tune in, especially for the next 22 days, which actually started today. We've got Soliciting Solitude is the offer of the day. This ends at midnight, and then a new offer is opened. And also remember, I am your otherworldly shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we do need another worldly life coach to get us out of our own way. Usually we are our own problem. That's what I find. Just an opinion. You don't have to agree with that. And the Daily Snippet. What do I talk about on the Daily Snippet? It's the cosmic energy insights, the elementals, along with a message for our day, the subtle energy center that's on for the season, and really so much more. But being that we're in the season of fires, a year in the Dagara of fire, this is kind of the last month of fire, Jupiter's fires, the sign of fire, heading back into the season of Aries. But it's this philosophical kind of energy. It's all about the transformation of our beliefs and opening new doors to mountaintop perspective in those beliefs, different ways of seeing things. And coming soon, the Yule, the pagan winter solstice. Been working on that as well, so be sure to tune in. That's happening December 21st. But for today, we're still kind of in the streams of being a Jedi, a Witcher, a Yoda, holding our own sacred force field, if you will. So it's like, what does our heart wish for? Are we guarding our wishes for those dreams to come true and holding on to our heart's beliefs? And shapes, circles, squares, triangles, shapes, even spirals. Like, what's the shape you are holding that belief in? Because there's a different message, and shapes carry different vibrations. So if you could feel the transformation happening from Scorpio to Sagittarius, I sure did. Pluto to Jupiter kind of a thing. So you may even come to kind of realize that that's why journaling is such an amazing idea. It's a great opportunity. And Sagittarius to Gemini, two opposing signs, Jupiter to Mercury. Along with our soul's harmonic to our solar plexus. So it's like the story we're writing, the narrative behind each chapter is shifting to a new level from that mountaintop perspective. So maybe you are on an entirely new adventure. It's super exciting, overly optimistic. It's time for an adventure. It's time for some excitement. So history, and I think of my grandma, she's 97. History is moving so much faster than that of our ancestors, maybe literally a little too fast for some. So it's almost like we don't have time to marinate in what our heart believes to be true, and exploring those heart chambers, if you will, for what we believe heartfelt inside of us, not the rims outside of us. Each of our energetic centers have rims, wheels on the outer wheels on the outer wheels, the inner wheels, the outer wheels. But the key really is to get to the core of what we heartfelt believe. what we believe within yourself, not the village outside of us. And your heart's going to share if it's resonating or not. And if you have someone around you who you trigger or they trigger you, because maybe they're trying to stuff you with their belief and it's just not working. So simply just smile. There's no need to feed or fuel the system, right? Opinions. You can walk away, you can just smile and say nothing. That's actually the best thing I feel to do. But just know if your heart doesn't resonate or doesn't like the frequency or the sound, then it's not true for you. It's not authentic. It's not in integrity. And it's perfectly fine if it's okay for them. It's just not in alignment with you, and it can kind of frazzle the circuitry, if you will. So just exploring with your guardian, your gatekeeper, what you believe to be true about yourself, and what you no longer believe to be true. It's the false narrative. So for me this morning, when I was musing through all this whole thing today, it's like painting a wall a new color or getting a new wardrobe. Like the wardrobe might have fit you 10 years ago, last year, whatever, or the color. It was the color that lit you up last year, but now you're like, ooh, I need a new color. So beliefs can create these entanglements. Usually it's the narrative that came in from our parents, a teacher, a mentor, and we follow the narrative of them, the parents, the mentor, whatever. But you could be like me and be the black sheep, questioning the belief. And when you ask the mentor or the parent, they might get a little huffy because they don't even know where the belief even came from. They just know they followed it, right? So just following the threading, the entanglement, right? So you just follow the belief that you were told growing up. And then all of a sudden you start questioning, or maybe you see a belief that was actually fitting, like the shoe fit. So you wore it and now the shoe no longer fits. So it's not resonating. So explore these different avenues today. It's kind of like being Cinderella, trying on new shoes, different clothing, different patterns. Maybe through some self-discovery, you come across a new way of believing that is more in resonation with you, that was born out of the work maybe you've been working through over the past year, or even further, birthing a new discovery, a new avenue. So with that, just a few announcements as we get going. But of course, I got to slide this up a little. I'm getting so much better in a way. Our options, we've got a feast, of course. We're heading to the feast. We've got gratitude in the house up there, waking up to a sound of gratitude. And also cheers, celebration, cheers. Those are your options for the messages, which I have a few. But a few announcements. The Musing with Tanya D podcast, The Otherworldly Insights, is out for your musing pleasure. It actually came out yesterday. The season of Sagittarius, Raguel, Friend of God. And we do have the moon meditation on the highway, the season of Sagittarius, the new moon, which is getting some excitement there. Super excited for that, happening tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be great. And I still have the Shamanic Healing Academy. The doors are open. We're still nipping and tucking, but you can explore the opportunity as well. This is going to be a hub. I'm so excited. I'm beyond excited actually to have it. You've got some different options to be a part of it, a membership or a mentorship. So different options, because honestly, I'm about options. They're like opinions, we can have them. And for the first 20 people, not only do you get Soliciting Solitude for free, but you do also get a 15-minute intuitive divination session with yours truly, moi. And I also put in the Energy Body Demystified. So these are all for free as a gift. So you decide. It's a $55 a month membership to get in, or almost over $1,000 for an opportunity if you were to purchase each of those separately. So far, by the way. Or be a part of the mentorship and really take it up a notch for your own well-being, your own well-healing. Listen to your soul, navigate your spirit, or the opposing, navigate your soul and listen to your spirit. And also coaching. I do have a link there for some coaching, otherworldly coaching, if you will, supporting you. I've been doing soul coaching for a while now. And we do have the 22 days of gratitude, which is going to be great, super fun. Even if you're not interested, you should at least check it out and play along. Something fun to do. Be grateful. See what it's all about. 22 days of gratitude. Can we be grateful for 22 days? What does that even feel like? So yeah, and your options there. Comment in the show notes who you're choosing. I've got some great messages today, just saying. But on the elemental highway, as per usual, we do have a Yin Earth Rabbit of a day. Now, you know what rabbits do. They flourish, right? My neighbor's got rabbits, and every so often one's gotten out. Next thing she knows, she's got a burrow and 20 more rabbits. But That is what it is, right? But Yin Earth houses all the beings. It is the soil. And Yin Earth Day Masters are prone to allergies. Energetically, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just an otherworldly life coach. But they're prone to allergies, so herbal remedies are actually the best for you. Herbs, yeah. So if you have allergies, look into your 4 pillars chart. See if you have a lot of Yin Earth, either a Yin Earth Day Master, or maybe you've got Yin Earth in the month, the day, the hour, etc. somewhere when you're born. But that's the key. It's the spleen, it's the stomach, and more. And it's phlegm when it comes to Earth. It's our lymphatic system. There's a lot that can go on there. But the tiger and the rabbit are actually part of the eastern direction. And at the hour of the dragon, we're going to have a full eastern direction. So this is wind, it's lightning, it's wealth that comes in from the east. And the sun rises actually from the east. And that would be Thor barking. Hey, hey, hey. So our day tends to be more caring and understanding. Hang on 1 second. Let me go check the dogs. Hey. Enough. Hey. Well, back to the excitement. Thanks for tuning in for that one. You never know what you're going to get. So again, back to the day. It's caring, it's understanding, it's thoughtful, it's patient. It's Yin Earth, so it's really a Yin inside energy as well. Patient though, patient. And the rabbit is, it's a meadow, like I said. It's a meadow overflowing with a lot of grass. We do have a lot of actually nature in our day today. The grass is kind of taking control, the yin metal on the month. That's performance, it's creativity for an earth day. So we've got a lot of creativity, but it's very refined. It's a refined, creative kind of day or a person. And the pig has the ocean. It's all giddy with the tiger. It's been like that for since we switched into the month of the pig there. So we've got this giddy kind of energy all season long, or the month of the pig. If you haven't noticed. So this is like creating healthy ways of creating that abundance, the prosperity, being in the flow. It's water, right? Water flows. And water has so many, they all just have the juice in them. These elementals, seriously. But the wood in the pig and the tiger, the young wood, the forest, that's healthy power, a power that doesn't get misused. You know, some people do misuse their power. So we have energy flowing from our day. So earth to the metal, metal to the water, water to more of nature. We do need fire. Fire is the bridge to bring balance, as our day has zero resource except for what's hidden out in the tiger in the year. So like what brings the balance? Fire activities, fire emotions, fiery thoughts, which can be great. Fiery thoughts of like joy, love, that's fire, right? Action, cooking, candles, spirit, be creative. Foods that are of fire, bitter greens, not spicy, that is metal, so it's bitter greens. And the sweetness of life, that's more of an earth sweetness, which you kind of got to balance that one. So yeah, now that we're back to the show with all the excitement today. Back to our options here. Gratitude, heartfelt gratitude. Like living in the frequency of gratitude, like it just changes things. I don't know if you listened to my show yesterday, but like to be in the frequency of love with loving thoughts and loving feelings and loving the heart and loving, like love frequency, the language, right? Total different frequency vibration. But our options with the messages, we've got the shamanic portal still open and online, and the soul's harmonic. These are both out of body energetic centers. They're online today. I'm bringing in the Fey. I don't know if I said that, but the soul's harmonic is open for the season of Sagittarius. Not that it's not open during any other times of the year, but it's just more, I want to say more fluid, more sparkly, I guess is what I would say. But I'm bringing in the Fey, the otherworldly beings. So first up, if you chose gratitude, which we all need some gratitude, right? Look at this. Look at that cute little butt cheek she's got. And often enough, she still has boy, my day has gotten crazy. The butt cheek there, her tattoo, that's what we got, the tattoo on her cute butt cheek. The Bright Mother, she's part of the She. These are the people, the lords and the ladies of the hills, the land of the Fey. These are the old ones. And all the Fey dance, actually, they love poetry, they love song, they love laughter. They love they just love. But the She do this dance to mediate the energies of the singers, the powerful energy of the singers, and to bring that energy into manifestation throughout all the worlds. And they do this for the pure essence, the pure joy, the joy molecules of it. I don't know if you can see those. They're little orbs. They just bubble up everywhere inside of us. But this is a great alchemical art. It's the dance of life itself. So these are the ones that create and nurture and build these worlds along with the inhabitants of all of those worlds. And they're available to each and every one of us individually or as guardians and gatekeepers, teachers, and nurturing and comforting. But they also have the ability to create frequent miracles as well, having faith. But they each have their own potent magic, which is amazing, and their own potent magic power, the magical power that acts throughout all of life. So these are the profoundly wise ones, and their actions are for the highest good to all involved. So we have these powers in embryo, these abilities, these gifts. They're something we gradually earn by using them wisely, like rising from our origins. But these magics seem very powerful in our lives, like all things. When they are good, they are very, very good. And when they are bad, they are horrid. They are terrible. But with these energies, what's important to remember is that on the flip side, of the powerful creativity, there's also a formidable destruction that's happening sometimes. I won't go down that rabbit hole. But the energies channeled by the singers can only be used by human creativity for good. Otherwise, their energies can be blocked but never misused. That's how the singers work. But the She, on the other hand, or the other side of the coin, their powers are used for good by the She, but they can be employed by humans either for good or for ill. So it's a different entanglement there. However, if we do misuse these energies, the She's energies, it always rebounds upon the doer. So in one way or another, it's just a different way of defining karma. But the Bright Mother, one of the reasons I love her is the 16. This is opening us up to accept in our heart a new belief instigated by spirit, because we're in the season of Sagittarius. And I love 16 mostly because it's my rising sign. So every time it moves to that degree, it's hitting a new house in my chart. So it gets all exciting and juicy. But the Bright Mother, this is all about creativity, nurturing, productivity, intimacy, sheltering. It's the Bright Mother. She's the Bright Mother of all. She knows that all of life is a miracle. And the Bright Mother is always amazed. It's like the perfection in the imperfection. Sometimes we're too hard on ourselves, but she sings and rejoices in its beingness, in the energy of it. She is in the sorrows for the growing pains, and she gets really exuberant in success. So she's both this great lady of the Earth Mother and also for the full bright mothering, the Bright Mother, pregnant with the future of all growing things that burst to life. She feeds us, provides us with air, water, shelter, an amazing, even complex kind of world we're living in. But she sees it, even though sometimes we're challenged, she sees us through enough to grow into that growth. But she not so much to be overwhelmed in that kind of a challenges. But if we do want more challenges, then she's going to provide us. We do give those to ourselves. But the Bright Mother, she's the guardian of the family. She does remind me of the 4th house in astrology, the home, the nurturer, a Cancer, a Cancer sign in season astrology, not Cancer and the other hiccup. But she creates and holds the nurturing environment for us all. But she's the garden where vegetables, fruits, and herbs grow. We do need that today. And she sees and holds the mysteries in the ordinary processes that sometimes we don't pay attention to, like bees making honey, for example, or I buy Amish butter. So just imagine the Amish making the butter. It comes in this huge brick. I love it. The birth of a baby and the growth of the baby, blossom turning into fruit, wheat ripening. So it's all these cycles, right? But she's got loving patience for these natural processes, no matter how slow they are. So if you're in a business and it's not birthing as quickly as you want, it's the process. It's the universe only gives us what we can handle. But her commitment to us is for life. It's eternal life, not our ephemeral in the body, flesh lives. And she's present in all of our deep committed relationships as well. She's a facilitator in a way. She nurtures, she's adds love and creativity. It's almost like you're kneading the dough. But she's fostering this within us, a different kind of security that really gives us inner stability. So we kind of need to explore and have adventure, go out into the world, also within our own self. So she's kind of reminding us that there are times when we must put others first because their need is so great. But also in doing so, we kind of need to lose sight of our own needs and nurturing for a moment. And people tend to protect their own experience with mother and mothering on her. Sometimes this helps us to see her with more clarity, more vision, more peace, but often it does create the muddle. It gets the waters muddy. And not all mothers are great and wise, but the bright mother is. I'm not even kidding. This is Cancer. If you're Cancer is that nurturing mother, right? So each time we perform a compassionate, nurturing act, that's when we become more like the bright mother, the good mother. That's what I kept trying to say, the good mother in the season of Cancer. Learning just unconditional giving, but being that the bright mother is present today through all the hiccups this morning, she speaks of a time of fertility, growth, creativity, nurturing ourselves or others. She might indicate a marriage, the birth of a child, a deepening of any kind of relationship, romance, but she also speaks of giving one's all to life, like no holding back, like she's the cornucopia pouring forth all this exuberance and this abundance. So this may be a time to put the needs of others first, taking care of yourself later, and then balancing the threads. You might need some patience for the process. Maybe something's being discussed. Consider what you have, an attitude of gratitude, and just really acknowledge the people, the things in your life, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. It's kind of her message. So it's kind of like a consideration is not to judge or approve or reject. You're like in the zone of neutrality. You're just kind of recognizing what's present in your life. And those are those present moments of fulfillment, the things that you have created for yourself. So then you draw upon the power of unity, and the singers, or not, whatever the case may be. I like streaming with the singers. But once you've looked clearly at what's present in your life, which you can be gratitude for or grateful for, you may want to ask yourself, what do you want to change? So that's kind of the message there through all the hoopla. Okay, gratitude. I'm telling you, it's on the highway. Stream that one right in. Be grateful. Okay, following the bright mother, if you chose cheers, the two clanging cups. This is friends. We have friends in need. This is the Helpline Troupe. The Helpline Troupe, these are the wee folk of the Fey. They're large, they're small, they come in all shapes and sizes, either in the flesh, the trees. Sometimes they assist us in our daily lives. Sometimes they do so to add a little more confusion, usually in an effort to be more helpful. But these are the Fey that are associated with the elemental realm, which I love, from the earth out into the sky, into the galaxy, the moonlight, the air, the planets, far, just all of it. Every element you can think of, these guys play with there. But they do work alone sometimes, and they also work in pairs. But friends, this is about friendship, support, and aid. And these two little guys, they're with each other all the time. They're the best of friends. And if you could imagine in your childlike wonder, how many playmates did you have that were guardians, friends of the Fae in your childhood, that childhood wonder? But as we grow older, usually we get pressure from our parents, community, teachers, whomever, usually our parents mostly, maybe our friends, I don't know, often nagging us into blocking our visions or even communicating with the other world. But these two showed up today to help us to get back to our childlike wonder, into trusting in the other world, to renew those forgotten friendships with them, to play with them, maybe seeing things through their eyes. But being that they showed up otherworldly, when you turn this card around and you put them on their head, one gets entangled within the other. They get tangled within themselves in a way. And often we think we're not enough. So things don't go well. When that happens, there might be spats or misunderstandings, disagreements. So these two are quarreling friends over nothing much. And usually that's how rifts occur. So it's kind of time to sort things out. Those entanglements, time to call in honesty or a good friend of tact, kindness. Get things back into balance the right way up with serious, maybe heartfelt, loving discussions, maybe cultivating your friendships, planting seeds for new friendships. We need friends, right? So don't let misunderstandings or touchiness, yours or theirs, get in the way. Friendships, right? And just reopening our door, our heart to them, give them a reason to reopen their hearts as well to us. It's a two-way street. Kind of like the Apostle Paul, love is patient and love is kind. Kindness, of all the things to be kind, which I know it can get us into havoc too. Okay, following friends, if you chose the feast, the feasting. Aha, this is the Puke. The Puke is part of the fairy challengers. This dude's bringing us face to face with our fears, denials, inner traumas, insecurities, delusion, confusion, and even our misbehaviors. Are you misbehaving? But these are the Fae who, metaphorically speaking, they put their foot out in front of us to see if we're paying any attention to what's happening around us or within us. But these are the Fae that test us. They challenge us, but it's not the same kind of test like you'd have in school or college or any of that riffraff. They test us to discover like a process for growth. They design their tests so that in the process of passing the test, we actually learn from them and we move to a higher level of beingness, of essence. And they only offer us these challenges only if they already know we have the potential of passing them, working through them. So they're not really tests. They're more like being initiated. Some are minor, some are major, depends on the initiation. But the 60, that's about opening up and trusting. Opening up and trusting and receiving, opening up our heart. What can we trust and open our heart to? But the Puke is he's a shapeshifter. He's a changer, good and bad, bad and good. It's a paradox, but it's also resolution. So being that the Puke is a shape changer, he appears in whatever guise he thinks is going to be the most confusing for us, depending on his personal purpose. And he weaves spells to bemuse our senses, confuse our judgment. So he's kind of the master of the art of illusion and delusion, kind of holding up a distorting mirror, if you will, to reveal the bad in the good and the good in the bad, two sides of the coin. So he wishes to show us the bad in what we think to be good and vice versa. So he's literally a shapeshifter. So this may even just kind of confuse us more, but it also may help us to gain a more balanced understanding of how things really are, reality. But he's very against rigid mindset. And in his own way, he's encouraging the development of the inquiring or the inquisitive mind. And he's very proud of the many faces that he assumes. And with them, he offers us contradictions and paradoxes, new perspectives. So he finds it all way too easy to confuse our judgment, maybe rattling our cages, because we're often not thinking very clearly. We've got that, our mind gets in the way, I'm telling you. Sometimes you might even hold two or more contradictory beliefs in boxes. So if one is true, we think when we finally consider them, then the other must be false. It's kind of that two-side, but that's not so. Beliefs are interesting, right? Perhaps both are false. Maybe both are partially true and partially false. Maybe those ingredients there, but we tend oftentimes to cling so desperately to our beliefs, even when they make no sense to others or are counter to our own actual experiences. Usually they're not even ours. But the paradoxes, the confusions are usually self-created. But the Puke, the energy of him only needs to dress them up a little bit, entangle them, add a little sparkle, maybe dangle a carrot in front of us before, in order to induce more confusion. And in all the confusion, we are likely to believe almost anything that somebody presents in front of us. So just to feel as if we have kind of a metaphorical anchor in this reality. But the challenge here for us is to literally to wake up, to stop projecting our confusions out into our reality. And once we've seen the truth, the authenticity, these seeming contradictions and paradoxes, they dissipate, they melt away. In the matter of kind of realizing the solution, like a Zen koan, if you know what I'm talking about, it's like, what does one hand clapping sound like, right? And when we get the answer, usually by a burst of insight, cutting through the confusion and the paradoxes, it's usually a crazy aha moment. It's always seems simple, so simple. And then we wonder how we could have been in such a tizzy about such a simple thing. And we wonder why everybody else doesn't understand and this so obvious thing. But he too is otherworldly today. We're all otherworldly. So there's a paradox that we're unable to resolve at this time. But recognizing the paradox really assists us to move closer to the solution for it. With the information or the experience, we need to resolve it. It's just not available right now. So the trick here is to avoid becoming bogged down in the muddle of the mind by this. We need to get on the other aspects, the other side of the aspects in our lives, and still acknowledge the difficulty that is there if possible. We might need to postpone some discussions, maybe relax about it, take the breath, the pause for peace. And just knowing the insight we need, it's going to come. We just can't rush it. In fact, trying to rush it usually only causes us to become more deeply mired in the muddle of the mind, in the confusion. So the message is to relax, wait, stay alert, and take a breath for a pause. And generally, the fairies, they do like to trip us up to give us a different perspective out on the world. That's what they do. All in the name of fun. And just for fun, because it spun out on me. So what happens, just so you know, I put these cards on the floor. I sit on the floor and I literally sit there and spin them all around and around and around. And I wait for the messages to like spin out of the circle, like hit a wall. That's how I come up with these cards. So our final message, which is kind of a collective message. This is Tahitian the Silph. Actually, they're all kind of collective messages, really. But this is also part of the Helpline Troupe, the 2 Feys today to help us out. But the 45, this is being mindful of where we belong. And when we're mindful of what we belong or where we belong, we then can take action based on our heart. Like, do I belong here? Do I belong over there? What does that look like? But Tahitian the Silph, this is acute intellect. It's quickness. It's mental synthesis. It's discernment. It's our mind. But this little character glitters and glimmers brightly and scatters special fairy dust that energizes the mind. I'm not going to go there. But however, energy is not everything, the fairy dust that actually makes minds brighter. It's this more energized and it's more rare. But she distributes it much less often. She's full of curiosity. She wants to go everywhere. She wants to see everything and have everything answered, similar to a 2-year-old asking why, or no. But she wants to know it all the things, even the things that by our very nature cannot be known to the conscious mind. So she's reminding us that ideas cannot be confined as well. They need to float a little bit. They're wild. They are free. They move very fast. They are quickly. Some ideas are more contagious than the flu. They move more quickly from head to head. Conscious streams, right? Sometimes they're illuminating, sometimes they burn out with a flicker or a flash, a faint whiff of ash, if you will. But the Silph is a fragment of the Earth's soul in fairy form. And in the realm of the Fae, light comes not from above, but from within. That's where the spark comes. So like other fairies, the Silph lights up the world around them. She is lighting up our world today, energizing all who come into contact with them, with their quick fairy radiance, their burst of light. So we too also light up the world around us with our own auras, right? Being the star that we are. And it's actually pretty sad that so few of us have learned the mental disciplines to be able to perceive light, the auric field, the etheric mirror. If you're picking up what I'm throwing down. But however, Tahitian is not the one to consult about that. That would be Lestede or the Dark Lady for that. But what she does is she bestows us more of the ephemeral, I want to say the etheric, the ephemeral, but nevertheless, it's valuable. So she is an awakener. She's asking us to awaken. She startles us into seeing and thinking in new, exciting ways, adventurous ways. And she loves to sit in and listen to teenage conversations, college kids discussing profound questions about life, the narratives. But she's full of these bright ideas. She likes to discuss them at length. She's not so much bothered about whether the discussion makes any sense at all or not. That's not really her thing. because ideas with wings are her joy. Mental stimulation is her game, being able to get out of the box. So she's got this inertless flight, like thought, bubbling all over, thought forms. So she's not bound by the rules of the mass or the momentum. She subscribes to a different channel. So she can radically shift and change direction without notice more quickly than a hummingbird. That's kind of what she reminds me of. But she too is otherworldly. So this is fluttery, it's fickle, it's fly by night. Reliable? I don't know. Just kidding. You must be joking, right? So here we are, likely to get into an argument merely for the sake of the excitement, the mental fizz of arguing. Some people like that. Petty quarrels may be taking place. Mental irritability can be a problem, switching gears. So all of this can be rectified if everybody involved makes really a conscious effort to become earthed, grounding into the fire, spirit, and calm. Mental flights, a fancy of the hummingbird mind. They're super fun. But until ideas are brought down into the earth realm, they really accomplish nothing. That's fire, bringing the fire into the earth realm. So we're most certainly in its day. It's a day where we discover areas where we may be lying to ourselves. Maybe we're telling ourselves white lies. Why is that? Well, this is where we tell ourselves one thing over and over and over, and we know heartfelt that we disagree with the story, the initiative. So it's that classic mind over belief, thoughts over beliefs, the messages even. So it's just the beginning of changing our thoughts in the mind, thinking differently of ourselves, believing differently for ourselves. Maybe try to stay as open-minded as possible, where all these ideas are just flowing from the Puke. Question everything and asking your heart. So when we open to a new perspective, an otherworldly one, because all these cards are otherworldly except the bright mother, maybe perceiving a new way of believing, opening up new doors. The ones that limit kind of dissipate, like one door closes, a new one opens. So it's an opportunity to believe differently than you ever have before. But just know that you are in sacred spheres of the Silph. You're protected, maybe from taking in the false narratives and the beliefs of others, to really, thine own self be true. And really adding the ingredient of light, the personal story here, the Tahitian, the Silph. So I would affirm that I am opening my personal sacred door to optimize my beliefs about myself inside and out. And remember to join the 22 Days of Gratitude. Today's offering is Soliciting Solitude, so sign up. So you do get those notifications in your inbox of what tomorrow's offering is ahead of the game. So with that, and the moon meditation, good Lord, it's a juicy one. Just hang out for that. And yeah, I will see you on the other side. Ashe, thanks for tuning in.
Inshallah and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings, and welcome back to the Musing Moon Meditation. This Musing Moon is dedicated to the new moon in the season of Sagittarius, happening November 23rd at 5:57 p.m. Eastern, 4:57 p.m. Central, 3:57 p.m. Mountain, and 2:57 Pacific. Be sure to check your local time zone to see when she's going to apex